Originally the passion project of a single developer back in 2016, Lost Soul Aside has since been propped up with extra support by Sony's China Hero project. And yet, you can still feel its indie DNA straining beneath the decent, AAA-ish exterior. There's real heart here, especially in the combat, which pays loud and proud homage to Devil May Cry and Platinum Games' character action titles. Though someone also tacked on a stack of generic RPG tropes purely to justify the full price. Thankfully, the combat slaps, and it's pretty simple to pull off all the slick moves. Once you unlock a few weapons and get into the boss fights, the game reveals exactly how much work has gone into its flashy, crouching tiger, hidden power action. Dodging and blocking require split-second timing, but the payoff is immense. Landing blue visual parry cues makes you feel like an MLG pro gamer, and going ham with abilities and discount Devil Trigger would make even Uncle Dante proud. That said, it's hard to tell when certain attacks are happening, especially when Mr. 10,000 Swords rocks up. Yet, when you finally overcome a brutal big bad, you'll feel like you've just graduated from anime swordsman school with honors. Boss encounters are definitely the highlight, as each one mixes stylish spectacle and sweaty palmed precision. Whereas regular foes let you flex and experiment with combo creativity, the bosses keep you honest, demanding that you learn their tells and punish windows. Since there are no difficulty options, you'll just have to get good, as the kids say. However, there are some damage reduction and attack boost accessories that unlock when our protag Kaiser, aka Timu Noctis, gets knocked out a couple of times. Unfortunately, a fair amount of that combat sheen is dulled by floaty animations and consistently weak sound design. If anyone just had PTSD flashbacks to Kingdom Hearts 3, you're not far off. And when a giant sword slash sounds like someone flicking a rubber band, it does kill the vibe a bit. Add in lurchy platforming controls, waxy character models, and audio mixing that starts fighting with itself, often cutting completely between scenes, and you'll start to see the cracks forming in real time. The voice acting isn't great either. The platforming is a nice distraction from the relentless fighting, and going full Tony Hawk on your little dragon sidekick just adds to the over-the-top spectacle. However, the platforming does take a bit of getting used to, with random invisible walls at points for no particular reason that'll make you go, okay? The linear hallways offer slight deviations from the main path for hidden goodies, but this game mostly moves in a straight line. Good thing the FPS on my base PS5 was pretty solid, with persistently high frame rates on performance mode. Yet, I've heard that the PC Master Race hasn't had the best of luck, even with the day one patch. So maybe stick with Sony for this one. Now, we've got to address the elephant in the room, the story. And by elephant, I mean the narrative equivalent of reheated leftovers. It's the usual fantasy sci-fi word salad: oppressive empire, sister's soul gets taken, long dormant evil that's suddenly back, a ragtag rebellion, yada yada yada, but with no real personality. But hey, unless your name's V, you don't play Devil May Cry for Shakespeare, and the same applies here. The main difference is that it wants you to sit through more cutscenes and stand and talk segments than you bargained for, which clearly prioritize style over substance. We get it, guys, you want to be an RPG, though maybe just don't. At the end of the day, Lost Soul Aside is a game of two halves. A phenomenal action core with enjoyable platforming wrapped in a bargain bin story and a sprinkling of half-baked RPG fluff. If you're here purely for the combat, you'll have a blast chaining combos and conquering some seriously cool boss fights. But if you're hoping for a gripping narrative or an expertly polished AA package, well, don't expect your pizza to arrive piping hot.